Can you hear my voice clearly, everyone? Right, very good. Okay, so we are going to start with the physics in this class. So, first of all, I'd like to make a few things clear, right? Some instructions as far as physics classes are concerned. The first thing is that whenever I would ask you a question, or when you have a question and you want to ask that question to me, you should definitely use the chat box. Okay, feel free to use it. Okay, it's just like we are sitting at different places, but we have to interact. Remember, no interaction, no education. Okay, so keep interacting. Whenever I ask you even a small question, you try to answer it using the chat box. All right. Okay, when you have queries, when you don't understand something, you could again put the question in the chat box. I will answer it. Okay. Yeah. Another thing is that, like I said, interactions are a very important part of learning. Okay, you must interact with your teacher. You are not definitely, it's not like seeing a YouTube video where you just sit and watch it. That's not going to work. Okay, so I will keep a note by default. You see, I'm sure you realize that in Zoom, the chat is recorded, right? So everybody's response and everybody's comments, everybody's response and everybody's comments, they are recorded here, right? So at the end of the day, we are going to see which student is interacting, which one is not, who is sitting idle, and we are going to contact your parents and we will have to do something about it. Okay, so remember, this is just like a regular classroom. Okay, just like in a classroom, if a teacher asks you question, if a teacher asks you a question, then you are expected to give a reply. All right. Okay, so keep that in mind. Right. The next thing that I want to tell you about, is physics, right? So let's begin with that. So now I'm going to share my screen to you. Can you see my screen, everyone? Can you see my screen? All right, very good. Yeah. Okay. All right, fine. So it's clear that the screen is visible to all of you, right? Now, so let's start with what is physics. Now, you could say we have started with chapter 1, right? You could say we have started with chapter 1 from your textbook, right? Okay, so what is physics really, right? Well, physics is basically trying to understand principles of nature, right? Just like it is in every field of science, right? We are trying to understand the principles of nature. Okay, so but physics is mostly related to stuff like forces, speed, okay, and energy, right, charge, or you could say current, right? These kind of things are what we deal with often in physics, right? Okay, but yes, it's not like you have not learned physics ever. In 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you have been learning a lot of physics. Okay, but there is one small difference now. In 9th standard or in 8th standard or even in 10th, actually, the physics part of your syllabus, right, whenever you had an exam, right, in exams you were typically getting questions which are slightly information based, right, right. So, for example, you will get a question of something like who gave who gave the laws of motion. Correct or not? Okay, this kind of questions, they were typical for 8th, 9th, 10th standard, all right. Okay, but now in 11th and 12th, in physics especially, the level has changed. It's not just information. Okay, only information is now not important. You are not going to see any such kind of questions in exams, or any kind of exams, right? Not just board exam, nothing. You will never see this kind of questions now. What are questions going to be more like? Let's take an example, right? It would be like a ball, let me write it, a ball is dropped from a height. I would request all of you not to annotate anything on the screen, all right? Yeah, thank you so much. So, a ball is dropped from a height, let's say 5 meters. When it hits the floor and rebounds, you understand meaning of rebounds? When it hits the floor and rebounds, it loses half its speed. Then to what height will it rise? Again, can you imagine what is described in this question? Can you imagine, everyone? Can you imagine what is described in the question? What are we doing? A ball is being dropped from somewhere, right? I hope that is clear, everyone. No? I think I should draw it. That will probably help you imagine. What is given? Let's say here is a floor, okay, and from some height, let's say from a building or something, some person is dropping a ball. So, this ball will fall on the ground, correct or not? Okay, what will happen then? After it hits here, what will happen? What will happen when it hits here? What will happen when it hits here? Read the question. It will rebound, correct. Rebound, that is, it will go up once again after bouncing from here, right? And then it is given that it loses half its speed, and then we have to find to what height will it go. Again, you know, when the ball bounces and goes up, to what height will it go? Will it go all the way till here? What do you think? Will it go all the way till here? Okay, it is given that it loses half its speed. Suppose, I know you have not learned this very well, don't worry, I am just asking you to make some prediction about this, right? What do you think? Will it go to half the height? What do you think? Will it go to half the height, means like 2.5 meter, because total height is 5 meter? Will it go to 2.5 meter because it loses half the speed? Because it loses half its speed? It will go till 5 meter. Very curious answer there. Okay, I am not saying right or wrong or anything. Okay, fine. So, do you realize that all of you were giving answers, right? But the answer was actually having this feature. Listen to this carefully. The answer was having this feature. First thing is that all of you were predicting, yes or no. Read the question and the way you answer it, you are predicting something, correct or not correct? Do you realize what I am saying? You are predicting that the ball might go to this height, the ball will go to this height, ball will not go to this height. Will, what is the meaning of saying will? You are predicting, correct or not? Everyone, do you understand what I am saying? Please stay interacting, okay, everyone. Did you understand that we are predicting something? And normally Normally predictions are generally associated with something like horoscope or astrology or something, yes or no? Generally we say who predicts, then you will say astrologer or someone who sees a horoscope kind of predicts, right? Yes or no? They make predictions, but you see our prediction here is completely different, right? I will tell you what's different. When you were predicting, the prediction was actually about height. The prediction was about height, and this was what height means. Do you realize that whatever is the answer here will have a numerical value, yes or no? Do you get what I am saying? Whatever prediction you make will have a numerical value, right? Whatever prediction you make will have a numerical value. So, this is actually in essence what physics is. This is what physics is. Physics makes predictions all around. Okay, physics is all about making predictions, right, of what will happen in nature and why it will happen. Physics is all about making predictions. Numerical value means number, my dear friend Smith. Okay, numerical value means it has numbers, isn't it? Yes or no? It has some numbers, right? So, without numbers, the predictions of science or physics are absolutely useless, right? In fact, all predictions without numbers are useless. So, I am sure you'll be getting a newspaper at your house, right? You'll be seeing that there are some columns related to horoscopes or astrology which claim of predicting your future, yes or no? Right? Have you ever seen such a column? Have you ever seen such a column in newspaper? Have you ever seen such a column? Okay, very good, right? That's also part of learning physics. Let me tell you what. Now, I want to give you a little bit of homework, okay? Very little, very interesting homework. What you do is, today you find out this column, okay? Find out the horoscope or the astrology column, whatever is there in the newspaper at your house. Okay, yes, according to Rashis, very good, the zodiac or the Rashis or whatever that is, right? So, find that column from the newspaper and search that column for numbers. You understand what I am saying? Okay, it will have predictions like so and so person will get money, right? Or so and so person will lose money, right? Or so and so person will get success today. Have you read such things? You can have a good laugh always, that's not a problem, but have you read such things in these kind of columns? Very good. So, I want you to do just one thing. I want you to do just one thing. When you find that column, you search for numbers, that is how many numbers are given. Have they said how much money will you get? Have they said how much money you will lose? Have they ever mentioned that? Think about it. Read it, okay? If you didn't see it earlier, I suggest that you read it today and confirm. Exactly, you won't find numbers. Very good. That's absolutely right. That is the difference between science and nonsense. Okay, that is the difference between science and nonsense. Exactly, right? So, science is something which predicts everything or tries to predict. Yeah, of course, in science we don't claim that we know everything. Remember that. Okay, right? It's just that we try to predict things as much as we can and we use numbers. For example, here we say that it will rebound. Okay, that much prediction anybody can make. Do you realize? Okay, do you realize that anybody can make a prediction that this will rebound? Yes or no? Okay, is that nonsense? No, it's still science, but it's very, very basic. It's still very, very basic, right? It's a very childish thing. Even a child can tell you that if you drop a ball from some height, then it will rebound. Very good. So it's not wrong, but it's very, very basic. The moment you come into details of science, of any field, the moment you come to the details, right, immediately you are going to start seeing numbers. You understand what I am saying? Immediately you are going to start seeing the numbers. For example, let's take another one. Let's take another one, right? Suppose we want to predict. Okay, let's take a very funny example once again. We want to predict that this is a person, they are standing and this is their feet, okay, and we are going to drop a stone. We are going to drop a stone on their feet. You understand what I am saying? We are going to drop a stone on their feet, right? Okay, dangerous experiment, right? But science can sometimes be very destructive, right? Okay, so we are going to drop a stone. Now, if I'd ask you, will the person's feet get crushed? Will the person's feet get crushed? What do you think? Yes? Will the feet get crushed? So I hope you realize that the answer to this question also depends on numbers. Which numbers? Number one, first thing, from how much height are you going to drop the stone? Yes or no? From how much height are we going to drop the stone? I'm not caring too much about grammar here, okay, so please excuse that. I mean, I could write the whole sentence if I want, but I'm not writing. Okay. The second thing, yes, very good, some of you have realized it. There's one more thing it depends on, mass of stone, isn't it? Yes or no? It also depends on mass of stone. Yes, right. So now immediately, does it depend on speed? Someone is saying, who said that, sorry, just one second, let me find out who said about speed. It is roll number 50, Samma. Okay, no, you see, although you said that it depends on speed or velocity, but I'd say no, it doesn't. Listen to this carefully, because if you drop it from some height, then it will reach the ground with some particular speed. So actually height decides the speed. You understand what I am saying? The height from which you drop decides the speed. Clear? So indirectly it depends on speed, but when you say that it depends on height, everything is covered, right? Mass is what decides weight, love. And everyone, I'd like to remind you, I am giving 1 minute in case your name is not according to the format given by the school. Everyone, I am giving you 1 minute. Alright, you can leave the meeting and come back again. I am giving you 1 minute. After 1 minute, I am going to kick you out if the name is not according to the format. Alright. It should be in the standard format with legible font and all that. No special characters. No special characters. You are not able to rename, don't worry. Leave the meeting and come back. Then, okay, when you leave the meeting, you will be able to change your name. But you don't have to worry. Dhairya, your name is fine, I think. Okay? No. Okay, there is a question. Will it not depend on force with which we throw the stone? Difference. We are not throwing, we are dropping. Do you realize that throwing and dropping are different things? Do you realize that throwing and dropping are different things? all right. Everyone, I hope you realize that these are different things. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, so again to predict things properly in detail, we need these numbers. Isn't height a value? Isn't height going to be a value? No, it will not depend on size, Diya. Okay, size doesn't have that much of an influence, right? Mass is the main thing, right? Okay, so I am saying that these are quantities, they are numbers again, right? So by now I hope you have realized that to make predictions about what is happening in nature, it is essential to have some numbers or some quantities. Correct or not? Quantity means something with which you can associate a number, and automatically when you get this enters maths. So I am saying basically that physics depends on maths. That doesn't mean biology students cannot study physics, remember, okay? That doesn't at all mean biology students can't study physics. No, you also can do very good in physics, right? Okay, remember the understanding part is same, that's what I am talking about. Up to 10th, whatever you studied in physics, that was mostly about theories and concepts, okay, or laws, and then you just have to understand them. But you didn't have a lot of prediction or calculation or numericals part. But now in 11th and 12th, in whatever exam you take, okay, I will just specify it for all exams one by one. So first of all, for board exam, right, for board exam which we have in 12th, okay, you are going to have 50 MCQs like I mentioned in the previous class, okay, it was made it clear to you by all of us, right, okay, and then you have 50 marks descriptive. Now, out of these 50 MCQs, you are going to find that 45 MCQs nearly, okay, not exact, but nearly 45 MCQs are numericals. Numericals means sums. I repeat what I have said, out of 50 MCQs, 45 are going to be numericals, or you could say sums. Okay, what kind of sums? This is a sum, this one, the one I presented at start, this is a sum that you are seeing, that if a ball is dropped from some height and it will rebound with, let's say, half its speed, then how much height will it rise again? Did you understand? This is what a typical sum of physics looks like. Understood or not? Everyone, understood or not? Okay, see, I'm right now telling you what is the paper's pattern or what sort of questions you are asked, right? It is important to know, because there is some difference between the way you are studying physics in 10th and now in 11th, all right? Okay. The next thing is the remaining 5 MCQs here will be slightly theory based or concept based, all right? Okay, so you could expect about 5 MCQ which are theory based. Again, they are not like this. It's not a GK question. Again, it will not be like this. No, understood? It will be related to some concept, but no numbers. Okay, that kind of thing, without calculations. You understood that? These remaining 5 questions, they are also related to concepts, but they will not have numbers in them. Got it? Okay. Now, what about the 50 descriptive part? What about the 50 descriptive part? In 10th standard, you used to get questions like explain working of motor. Do you remember this kind of question from your 10th standard physics portion? Or sometimes explain working of generator, electric motor or electric generator. What would you do over there? You'd write a few paragraphs, you'll draw a nice diagram. Okay, it's like a short note, isn't it? it is like a short note, correct or not? Okay, but now in 11th and 12th such questions are rare, such questions are very rare. So, even here in 50 marks descriptive part, listen to this carefully, you would have about 20 to 25 marks numericals or sums once again. Here you have to show the solution. In MCQs, you don't have to show the solution. That's the only difference, right? You don't have to show the solution in MCQs. Here you have to show the solution. Clear? 20 to 25 marks are going to be sums again. Okay, then what next? Remaining, out of the remaining, you'd have about close to 20 marks of things called derivations. So, what are derivations? Derivations are where you have to do some mathematics and derive a formula, kind of similar to your theorems, right? Okay, but yes, you cannot mug them up, it's not that easy. Yes, you have to derive a formula. For example, it might say derive f equal to ma kind of thing. You understood that? Derive a formula or prove some law or something like that, derive a law or prove a law. Okay, so 20 marks of that type. What about remaining 5 to 10 marks? What about remaining 5 to 10 marks? That would be theory based questions. Like what? Like laws. Okay, for example, write Newton's laws. Okay, that kind of thing. Or some definitions. Okay, excuse me for a moment. Okay, Harsh, don't worry, I was not speaking anything, I had some other work. Okay, yeah, so we are back to this now. So we have a couple of questions already here. One is from here. Okay, here, is this applicable to both A and B group? Yes, this is for board exams. I have not even started talking about anything, right? Everybody has to give the same board exam, all right? Everybody has to give the same board exam. So, all this is true for physics, right? Whether you are from A group or from B group. So, theory based questions like laws and definitions, okay, they are about 5 to 10 marks. Okay, so this is the overall paper pattern. I want everyone to note it down because I would not like to repeat it. Okay, everyone please note it down, and no screenshots. I am warning you, no screenshots. Everyone will make notes, proper notes of what you are learning. All right. Okay, have you noted it? Please, Manthan, I suggest that you never take screenshots, okay? Please note it down right now. It's just a few lines. Hurry up, come on, hurry up. After this, we are going to go over with the type of things that are necessary for JEE or NEET exam, right? Or any other entrance exam actually, right? The kind of questions, the basic idea is common, all right? Did you do it? You can also raise your hand, okay? You can also raise your hand when you are done. I want everyone to raise hand when they are done, all right? So that I can go to the next thing. Please do not be lazy, like I have said. students that are found to be not interacting with me in the class, your parents will get reported about that. Okay, because you, again, like I have said, sitting idle in a class is not a good thing. All right, fine, you can put your hands down. Okay. All right, let's go to the next thing. Now, what about JEE or NEET exams, right? Or any other entrance exam, right? Whether it's BITSAT or for IISc or IISER or whatever. All entrance exams actually make one thing very clear, that your concepts are wonderful. Okay, that is, you understand everything properly and you can use them. Okay, and you can use them. That is application. Okay, so it's not like they want you to memorize Newton's laws of motion and then you can't use it. No, right? Even more than board exams, in JEE and NEET, for example, in JEE you have 20 questions for physics and 5 extra which are without options, right? Numerical value type questions, okay, like Lakshman sir told you about yesterday, and 20 are MCQs. All these, or probably I'd say out of these 25, 24 are going to be with calculations. I repeat, 24 are going to be with calculations. They are going to be sums. Is that clear? And probably only one will be just concept based without calculation. Okay, around, this is not exact number again, but this is what we expect every year. All right, this is what we expect every year. Okay. Now, let us go to NEET. Okay, so for B group students, for NEET, there are 45 questions or MCQs of physics, everyone, for NEET. All right, like it was mentioned yesterday. Now, out of these 45 MCQs, yeah, I will come to that, don't worry, Shantanu, don't worry, all right, I will come to that. Okay, so 45 MCQs are there in NEET, and out of that you can expect that about 40 will have calculations, means they are sums. I am talking about physics only. I am not talking about any other subject. All right, I am talking about physics only. Okay, right. And what about remaining 5? They are concept based without calculations. Okay, approximately they are like this, but again here nobody is going to ask you who gave laws of motion and give you 4 options like Newton, Einstein or Ishan sir or Aryabhat. Okay, nobody is going to give you options like that. Okay, it's always going to be concept based. This is not a GK exam, like I have said. Concept based means you should understand the laws and you should be able to apply them. Okay. For JEE, I already explained, Saleha, it's on the left side, you can see, it's on the left side of the screen. Okay, what about good set? Pretty much, listen to this carefully, everyone. For all entrance exams, good set, or for IISER, or for IISc, or NATA, even people who want to appear for NATA, for all those exams, concepts and their applications are important. Nobody cares whether you can do rote learning or memorizing. Okay, this is simply not useful for any kind of entrance exams. All right, for any kind of entrance exams, you are not going to get anything by rote learning. Okay, they will always ask concept based questions and numericals in physics. That's common pattern. Even in board exam, they are asking it. So why not in JEE, NEET, good set? See, I don't want anyone to have any kind of misunderstanding. This is for board exam. You see this, right? So even for board exam, you have to do numericals. There is no escaping that fact. But don't worry, I am here to help you. All right, I am here to help you. But the fact is that calculations are unavoidable part of physics. Why? We have already seen the reason here. Did you see the reason here why calculations, numbers and everything are unavoidable part of physics? Yes or no? Did you see it? Your interactions have died down. Probably physics has given you a surprise, isn't it? Has physics surprised you? Be honest. Has physics surprised you? But like I have said, I am here to help you out with whatever you need. Okay, you don't have to worry at all about the maths part. We will definitely be solving so many numericals in the class. We'll be covering all the theories. We'll be doing everything. Yeah. Now there was a question about calculators. You know, there are so many calculations. Are calculators allowed? Let me point it out. In board exam, you are allowed calculator. In board exam, you are allowed calculator. Okay, no problem, you can use calculator. Clear? Standard calculator, not a scientific calculator, a standard calculator. Alright, so get one, buy one in all exams. Yes, in maths also. Who is asking this? Acharya, what's your name? Rohit. Okay. See Rohit, even in maths exams, you are not going to be able to do anything with calculator. Let me tell you that. Okay. This is some secret of 11th science, that you need to use calculator more in physics and chemistry than in maths, right? Okay, because the maths of 11th is of that kind, right? Now I am coming to other exams. Okay, don't worry, Saleha, I am coming to other exams, right? Don't worry. Okay, so in good set you are allowed calculator, everyone. In good set you are allowed calculator. Clear? But in any of the other exams, this one, no, 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 no. Understood? No calculator. Clear? Only in good set and board exam you are allowed calculator. In any other entrance exam, you are not allowed calculator. In any other entrance exam, you are not allowed calculator. So you have to calculate all this without calculators. All right. People manage, and I am sure you will also manage, right? There is no problem, because 2 years you are going to do so many calculations, right? So you will get used to it. It's not like you are going to do it only on the day of exam, right? So you are always going to be doing it. So I would tell you clearly, everyone, again, that what are these exams for? Good set is just for the pharmacy admissions for B group. Okay, and for local engineering colleges in Gujarat. Okay, these are the only two things that you can get through good set. That's it. Okay, but like I mentioned it earlier, for all biology students, I think NEET becomes very, very essential, because I am sure you are here with your dreams to be studying MBBS or BDS or something like that. Correct or not? So for all the biology students, NEET becomes extremely important. And if NEET is your goal, just follow these words. If NEET is your goal, follow these words, everyone. Okay, understood? Stay away from calculator if NEET is your goal, because if you will use calculator, then in exam you will have trouble, because in NEET exam you are not allowed calculator. Again, I don't know whether it was clear to everyone. Suppose you want to get admission in MBBS, BDS or Ayurvedic or anything like that. Board exams marks are not at all important. Like I mentioned it earlier, even if you score 99 percentage 99 in board exam, you will not get admission in MBBS. Okay, it's all NEET for you all. Okay, if you want to take admission in MBBS or BDS or BMS or BHMS. Yeah, what about maths students? I would really say that you should definitely try for JEE, because JEE gives you admission to reputed colleges, really, right? You know, I'm sure you would have heard some of the people saying engineering is not having a good scope. Have you heard anyone saying that? Have you heard anyone saying that engineering doesn't have good scope? Okay, right. So there are definitely a few students who have heard that. You know why people say they don't have engineers don't have good scope? Because most students, they will only prepare for good set, because that's not the way. By good set you can only go into some local engineering colleges that are not so good. But on the other hand, if you do very good in JEE, you can get into the reputed colleges very easily, and then it's all smooth, right? Then there is no problem whatsoever, right? Then engineering has immense scope. Okay, it has very big scope if you get into a good engineering college. So that's why I suggest that all math students should definitely try to prepare for JEE. All right. What? No. Okay, fine. In big calculations, what to do? Nothing. Calculate. Be patient. You were doing such calculations in 9th and 10th also, right? Okay, suppose someone says you have to multiply 3.14 into 56 into 56. Then wouldn't you do it? Haven't you done things like this in 10th standard? Haven't you done things like this in 10th standard? Yes or no? Yeah, do it, right? It's not like it's impossible, it will just take a little bit of time. That's what we want to do. We want to improve your speed. That's why you stay away from calculator. If your goal is any entrance exam, NEET, JEE or anything, stay away from calculator. All right, everyone, this part is clear. Okay, now, so I've already given you a basic idea about what physics is about, right? We study the nature, we make predictions, okay, but those predictions have a lot of numbers, because predictions without numbers, they're useless. Okay, it's just like I'm telling you, today you are going to earn so much money, and my so much is 1 rupee. Okay, if I tell you that today you are going to earn so much money, and that so much, if it is 1 rupee, then I am sure you will not like that. Okay, so that's why numbers are important.